The Sahara Desert was silent. No wind, no sound, just endless sand, deep below the surface, hidden under kilometers of rock and earth. A secret alien lab was active. Blue lights blinked, strange machines hummed. Inside, tall gray-skinned aliens, with large black eyes, moved quickly. They were scientists, observers. They had been watching humans for years, testing, studying, manipulating. Today was a big day for them. The final test phase had started. Commander Zelvac stood in the control room, looking at the holographic screen. Human test subject number 47 was in the observation chamber. His name was Alex Carter. Increase neural stress by 15%, Zelvac said. Other aliens obeyed. They pushed buttons. Machines sent invisible waves into Alex's brain. Alex, tied to a metal chair, screamed in pain. Sweat rolled down his face. His body shook violently. The aliens watched with interest. Fascinating, said one alien scientist. His brain patterns are stronger than expected. His resistance to pain is increasing. Commander Zelvac smiled coldly. Let's see how far we can push him. For months, they had tortured Alex, starved him, lied to him, injected chemicals in his body. Watched how he reacted. But today, they made a mistake. The first sign of trouble inside the observation room. Alex's eyes opened wide. He stopped screaming. He stopped shaking. Suddenly, he was completely still. The aliens noticed it immediately. Strange. His heart rate is dropping, said one alien. No, wait. Double quotes, another alien shouted. It's rising fast. Alarms started beeping. Alex opened his mouth and gave a deep animal-like roar. With a sudden burst of strength, he broke the metal straps on the chair. His muscles were tense, his face full of rage. Before the aliens could react, Alex jumped toward the door with his bare hands. He tore the metal panel off the wall and smashed it against the security camera. Sparks flew. Chaos begins. The aliens panicked. Sealed the chamber, Zelvac ordered, but it was too late. Alex grabbed a broken metal rod from the wall and charged at the nearest alien guard, who entered with a plasma weapon. One swing. The guard's neck broke instantly. Alex grabbed the alien's weapon. Without thinking, he fired. Blue plasma shots burned to more alien scientists where they stood. Screams filled the air. Smoke spread. Alex ran into the hallway. He didn't care where he was. He just wanted to escape. Red lights started flashing everywhere. The lab went into full lockdown mode. The escape. Alex sprinted through the narrow corridors. His feet bled, but he didn't stop. Sirens howled. All units to Sector 4, Zelvac shouted through the intercom. Alien guards with heavy armor and energy. Shields ran toward him. But Alex was faster, smarter. He threw a plasma grenade he stole from a dead alien. The explosion ripped the guards apart. Smoke covered the halls. Alex used the confusion to climb a maintenance ladder. He kept moving up, floor by floor. Surface level. Finally, Alex reached the surface exit door. It was thick, reinforced, but Alex saw the control panel. He ripped wires out, smashing them together with sparks flying. The door opened halfway. It was enough. He squeezed through the gap, cutting his arms on sharp metal edges, and then, for the first time in months, fresh air. Sunlight. The hot desert wind hit his face. Alex fell on the sand, gasping, crying, laughing like a madman. But there was no time to rest. In the sky above, small alien drones hovered, searching. Alex rolled behind a rock. He watched as more alien ships started rising from under the sand, like metal monsters awakening from the earth itself. Alex whispered to himself, "What the hell is going on?" Back in the alien lab, Commander Zelvac watched the escape on the monitor. His face turned pale gray. This was not part of the simulation. He said slowly. An assistant alien said, "Shall we terminate the subject remotely?" "No," Zelvac said, shaking his head. "We need to observe. This is unexpected. His survival rate has jumped to 300% above average." Another scientist asked nervously, "What if he exposes us to the rest of the humans?" Zelvac turned to him, eyes cold. "Then we escalate to phase 2. Alex's new mission. Alex crawled over a sand dune. In the distance, he saw a small desert town, houses, people, life. He stumbled toward it, but inside his mind, something had changed. He didn't feel like the same person anymore. His hands trembled with new strength. His eyes burned with new focus. The torture. The chemicals. The experiments. They had done something to him. Something. Dangerous. As he reached the first house, he collapsed at the door, whispering, "They're coming. They're coming for all of us." Final hook ending for Part 1. Far above Earth. On an alien mothership orbiting the planet, ... A dark figure watched everything on a giant screen. The figure spoke in a low voice. If one human can cause this much trouble, what will happen when they all wake up? Alex Carter opened his eyes slowly. His body ached everywhere. His arms were covered with cuts and bruises. His throat was dry like sandpaper. He blinked against the bright sunlight. He was lying on a small bed inside a dusty room. The air smelled of old wood and sweat. For a moment, Alex wondered if everything had been a dream. The experiments, the lab, the aliens. But then, the memories hit him like a punch. The screaming, the plasma fire, the smell of burning alien flesh. He sat up quickly, panic rising. A young woman rushed toward him. She had dark hair, tied back in a ponytail, and her eyes were wide with concern. "Hey, relax. You're safe here for now," she said. Alex grabbed her wrist. His voice cracked. "Where ... am I?" "A small town in the desert." The woman pulled her arm back carefully. "You're in Alcatab, a small village, about 30 miles from the Sahara." Alex's breathing slowed a little. She handed him a glass of water. "Drink this first." He gulped the water like a starving man. The woman introduced herself. "My name is Lena. I'm a doctor here. You stumbled into the village yesterday, half dead, covered in burns and cuts." Alex looked at her, still confused. I escaped, ... double quotes, he whispered, "from underground, a facility, aliens ... Lena's smile disappeared. Her eyes narrowed. "Aliens?" she asked softly. Alex nodded. "I'm telling the truth. They're running experiments on humans under the desert." Lena stayed silent for a few seconds, then she stood up, grabbed a small radio from the table and spoke into it. "Ramirez, you need to come here now. Strange things begin while waiting." Lena gave Alex some old clothes and food, but as Alex sat near the window, he noticed something strange outside. The townspeople. They were arguing loudly in the streets. Fights were breaking out for no reason. A man smashed a glass bottle over another man's head. Children were screaming. Animals ran wild through the streets. A dog attacked its own owner. It felt like everyone had suddenly lost their minds. Alex felt a headache rising. A high-pitched sound rang in his ears. Then ... It stopped. Lena ran back inside. "You're seeing it too, aren't you?" she asked breathlessly. Alex nodded. "What the hell is happening here?" Before Lena could answer, a large man in military gear entered the room. Sergeant Miguel Ramirez, a tall, muscular soldier with sharp eyes and scars on his arms. He looked at Alex. "You're the guy talking about aliens." The truth revealed. Lena closed the door behind Ramirez. Then she pulled a small device from her bag. It looked like a homemade radio receiver, but with strange wires and glowing green lights. "For months now," Lena began, "I've been picking up strange radio signals from under the desert." Ramirez crossed his arms. "We thought it was just some secret government base. But now, after seeing the people acting crazy, I'm starting to believe you." Alex sat up straight. "You have no idea what's coming," he said. "They're controlling people's minds. I saw it happen inside their lab. I was their test subject," Lena added. "And now, it's spreading." Ramirez paced the room. "We need to leave this town before it gets worse." Suddenly, the radio on Lena's table crackled. A robotic alien voice spoke. "Phase 2. Activation. Initiated." Then, silence. Alex's heart sank. "The town goes offside." The situation exploded into chaos. Hundreds of people ran through the streets, screaming. Some grabbed knives and tools, attacking neighbors. Fires broke out. In the market area, glass shattered. A car crashed into a building. Ramirez grabbed his rifle. "We move now. Follow me." Lena packed her equipment quickly. Alex, still weak but determined, followed them as they ran through the back alleys. They made it to a small, armored jeep Ramirez had hidden near the edge of the village. As they drove away, Alex looked back. The whole town burned behind them. Smoke covered the sky. People fought like wild animals. Alex turned to Lena and Ramirez. "This is just the beginning," he said. A new target as they sped through the desert road. Ramirez asked, "Where do we go now?" Alex answered without hesitation. "We need to get to a communication hub. Somewhere we can send a warning to the outside world before this spreads." Lena nodded. "There's an old military outpost, 50 miles from here, abandoned for years, but it still has a working satellite dish." Ramirez stepped harder on the gas, but none of them noticed. Far above them, several small alien drones were already tracking their movement. The aliens were watching, listening, planning their next move. Final hook ending for part 2, inside the alien command center deep under the desert. Commander Zelvac stared at a large screen. He watched a small human group driving fast across the desert. A junior alien officer asked, "Commander, should we capture them now?" Zelvac shook his head slowly. "No. Let them run. Let them gather others. Let the infection grow." He smiled darkly. "Then we'll crush them all at once." On another screen, hundreds of other towns across Earth showed rising chaos. The experiment was spreading. And Earth was waking up. The desert wind howled around the speeding jeep. Alex Carter sat in the back seat, staring at the endless sand around them. His hands shook, but not from fear, from anger. He had seen too much now. The experiments, the mind control, the destruction of an entire town. Beside him, Lena adjusted her radio equipment, her face tense. At the wheel, Sergeant Ramirez kept both eyes on the road, driving fast toward the old military outpost Lena had mentioned. The sun burned overhead, but Alex felt only cold inside. "This isn't just one town," Alex said suddenly. "This is happening everywhere." Lena nodded. "I'm seeing strange spikes in the signal, from cities hundreds of miles away." Ramirez cursed under his breath. "We need more weapons. And people. Fast." The military outpost. After 2 hours of hard driving, the jeep reached a chain-link fence, half buried in sand. Beyond the fence stood a group of old concrete buildings, faded paint, broken windows. But in the middle stood a large satellite dish pointing at the sky. "This place used to track enemy satellites during the Cold War," Ramirez explained. "Most people forgot it even existed." The three got out of the jeep. Quickly, Ramirez kicked open the main door. Dust filled the air. Lena ran toward the control room. Alex stayed near the entrance, holding a stolen alien plasma rifle. His eyes scanned the horizon. Trouble already inside the outpost. Lena powered up. The old systems. Lights flickered, screens buzzed. Slowly, the satellite dish turned toward the sky. Lena connected her equipment and began scanning for safe communication channels. But something strange happened. Her computer picked up multiple energy signatures, closing in fast. "Ramirez," she shouted, "we've got company incoming. Fast movers, not human." Alex's stomach tightened. He rushed outside with Ramirez. In the sky, 6 black alien drones flew toward them at high speed. First battle. Ramirez didn't waste time. He grabbed a rocket, launched it from the jeep's storage compartment. "Let's see how they like old-school firepower," he shouted. He fired. The rocket flew straight into one of the drones, exploding it mid-air. Alex aimed the plasma rifle at another drone and pulled the trigger. Blue energy blasts hit the drone, causing it to spin out of control and crash into the sand. But 4 drones remained. They started firing plasma shots at the outpost. Walls cracked. Windows shattered. Lena ducked behind metal cabinets, trying to protect her equipment. "Buy me 5 more minutes," she yelled. Alex and Ramirez kept firing. Another drone went down, but Ramirez took a hit to the shoulder, falling behind cover, bleeding badly. Alex dragged him to safety. "We're not dying today," Alex growled. The first broadcast. Lena finally found an open channel. She grabbed the mic and screamed into it. "This is Dr. Lena Hassan. If anyone out there can hear me, Earth is under attack. This is not a drill. We need backup. Please respond." Her message repeated on a loop, bouncing off old military satellites still orbiting Earth. For a few moments, there was silence, then static cleared, and a voice replied, "Message received. Identify location. Help is coming." Lena's eyes widened. Alex smiled for the first time in days, but the fight wasn't over. The last 2 drones came in, low for a suicide run. Alex grabbed Ramirez's grenade belt. He pulled all the pins at once, threw the whole belt toward the drones, and jumped behind cover. A massive explosion shook the ground. When the dust settled, all 6 drones were destroyed. Building the resistance that night, the 3 survivors sat inside the outpost. Ramirez's shoulder was bandaged. Lena was monitoring the signals. Alex kept checking weapons. The radio crackled again. This time, a new voice came through. "This is Captain Darius Cole, United Nations Special Forces. We picked up your distress call, ETA, to your location. For hours." Alex felt hope rising. "We're not alone anymore," he whispered. Lena smiled weakly. "Looks like we're starting a resistance." Ramirez grinned. About damn time. Meanwhile, in the alien command center, Commander Zelvac watched the battle footage on his screen. He saw Alex leading the fight. He saw Lena sending the signal. He saw Ramirez's brave stand. The alien officer turned to Zelvac. "Should we send more hunter eunuchs, Commander?" Zelvac tapped his long fingers on the control panel. "No, not yet," he said slowly. "Let them gather. Let them think they have a chance. He stood up, looking at a giant map of Earth, showing chaos spreading across many regions. When the time comes, Zelvax said coldly, we'll erase them all in one strike. His yellow eyes narrowed. The experiment must continue. Final hook ending for part 3. As the night grew darker, Lena's radio picked up another strange signal. But this time, it wasn't from the aliens, it was from somewhere deep underground. Far away, a human voice whispered through the static, if you're fighting back, we're with you. Stand by for further instructions. Alex's heart skipped a beat. More survivors, more fighters. The resistance had begun. The night sky above the desert was dark and silent. Alex Carter stood near the satellite dish at the old military outpost, holding his plasma rifle tightly. His eyes scanned the horizon, alert for any movement. Inside the control room, Lena adjusted the radio equipment. She tried to clean the broken screens and repair damaged wires. Ramirez sat with his back against the wall, holding his wounded shoulder. Blood had dried on his uniform, but his spirit remained strong. They had survived the first attack. They had sent the distress signal. Help was coming, but would it arrive in time? The calm before the storm. Lena checked her laptop screen. Something's wrong, she said. Alex walked inside. What now? I'm picking up large heat signatures. Coming fast. From the east, she replied, her voice shaky. Ramirez grabbed his rifle with his good arm. How many? Lena's face turned pale. Too many. Alex climbed to the top of the outpost and used binoculars. In the distance, dark figures moved through the desert like shadows. Fast, silent. Strange. They're not drones, Alex whispered. Through the lens, he saw them clearly now. Tall, armored creatures, walking on 2 legs like humans but twice the size. Their eyes glowed red. Long metal blades extended from their arms. They've sent hunters, Alex said with dread. What are the hunters? Hunters were the aliens' most dangerous ground troops. Not just machines, not just soldiers. They were biomechanical killers. Half living, half machine. Programmed to track, hunt, and kill. They never slept. They never stopped. And worst of all, they learned every fight made them smarter and deadlier. Alex had seen them once during his escape from the lab. He had barely survived that day. Now, a whole squad was coming for them, preparing for battle. Everyone inside. Alex shouted. Lena and Ramirez rushed to the center room. Alex barricaded doors and set traps using leftover explosives and tripwires. Old machine guns from the Cold War were mounted on windows. We're gonna make them fight for every inch, Ramirez said, smiling despite the pain. Lena handed Alex a homemade EMP grenade. Use this only if things get really bad, she warned. Alex nodded. Got it. They waited. Minutes felt like hours. The sound of footsteps on sand grew louder. Then, silence. First contact. A sudden crash. The east wall exploded inward. Dust and metal flew everywhere. One hunter burst through the hole, roaring like a wild beast. Its metal claws sliced through the air. Alex opened fire with the plasma rifle. Blue energy bolts hit the hunter's chest. Sparks flew, but it kept moving. Ramirez threw a grenade. The explosion knocked the hunter back, but still, it stood up again. Damn, these things don't die easy, Ramirez shouted. Another hunter came through the north side, then another from the roof. Alex and Ramirez shot non-stop, covering each other. Lena stayed behind, managing radio signals and warning them of hunter movements. The turning point after killing, to hunters with headshots and close-range blasts. Alex saw something worse. More hunters, at least 10, surrounding the outpost from all sides. We're getting overrun, Ramirez shouted. Lena screamed from her station. More signals. Incoming. They're sending in air support too. Alex grabbed the EMP grenade from his belt. He looked at Ramirez. We either die here, or we run now. Ramirez nodded. Lena packed her gear quickly. Alex pulled the pin and threw the EMP grenade into the middle of the room. A bright blue pulse exploded outward. All electronic systems in the area shut down instantly. The hunters froze for just a few seconds, stunned. Alex shouted, "Go now." The desert chaser 3 survivors ran to the jeep outside. The engine was dead from the EMP blast, but Ramirez had a backup plan. A second, older vehicle, an old military truck with no electronics, was parked behind the building. Sometimes old tech saves your life, Ramirez said with a grin. They jumped in. The engine roared to life. The truck sped through the desert, bouncing over dunes behind them. The hunters recovered and started chasing on foot. Despite their heavy bodies, the hunters moved faster than any human could run. Shots rang out. Plasma blasts flew past the truck. Alex fired back from the rear of the truck. An unexpected As they neared a rocky canyon, Alex spotted something in the sky. A black helicopter flew low over the desert, moving toward them. It had no alien markings. It was human. The radio inside the truck crackled back to life. A voice spoke. "This is Captain Cole of United Nations Special Forces. We've got your signal. Hold your position. Help is here." The helicopter opened fire with mounted guns. Bullets tore through the hunters chasing the truck. Explosions rocked the sand. 2 hunters went down hard. Others scattered for cover. Helicopter hovered above the truck, dropping a rope ladder. "Time to go," Ramirez shouted. One by one they climbed aboard. Alex was the last to grab the ladder, firing one last shot at a hunter before being pulled inside. The helicopter lifted off, rising fast above the desert. Below, the hunters roared in frustration. The new base inside the helicopter, Captain Cole greeted them. "Welcome to the fight," he said. Alex, breathing hard, nodded. "We're just getting started," Alex replied. Cole handed Alex a headset. "We're taking you to a secure location. You're not the only survivors. There's a growing human resistance, and we're planning something big." Lena smiled through tears of relief. Ramirez leaned back, finally closing his eyes. Alex stared out the window, looking down at the burning desert. For the first time, he felt hope. But deep inside, he also knew the hunters would be back. And next time, there would be even more of them. Final hook ending for Part 4. Far away, deep inside the alien command ship orbiting Earth, Commander Zelvac watched the battle footage. He saw Alex and the others escape again. An alien officer spoke nervously. "They're growing stronger, sir. Humans are adapting." Zelvac's face remained cold, then released the next wave. He ordered on another screen. Hundreds of new hunter units powered up, and even worse, a new, larger class of alien weapon, called the Reapers, was being prepared for deployment. Earth's real nightmare was only beginning. The helicopter flew low across the desert, heading toward the mountains. Alex Carter sat near the open door, staring at the dark horizon. Smoke clouds rose in the distance. Fires burned across the land. Cities were falling, one after another. Lena sat across from him, holding her radio device tightly. Her face looked tired, her eyes red, but she kept scanning for any new signals. Ramirez rested beside her, his shoulder bandaged, his rifle in his lap. Captain Cole, standing near the cockpit, looked at them. "We're going to Base Echo," Cole said. "One of the last safe places left." Alex nodded, but inside, he wondered how long any place would stay safe. Arrival at Base Echo was hidden deep inside a mountain range that it used to be a nuclear bunker from the Cold War. Now, it was a resistance stronghold that as the helicopter landed, dozens of soldiers greeted them, weapons ready. Other survivors, civilians, engineers, doctors, all gathered here for protection. The walls of the base were thick, covered with layers of concrete and steel. Inside, the command center was full of large screens showing live satellite feeds. Every screen told the same story. Earth was under attack and losing. The fall of major cities on one screen. New York City was burning. Alien ships hovered over the skyscrapers, firing plasma blasts into buildings. Another screen showed London, covered in black smoke as alien hunter units roamed the streets, hunting survivors. Paris, Moscow, Beijing, Tokyo, all major cities were falling one by one. Governments had tried to fight back tanks, jets, even nuclear missiles. But the aliens had disabled Earth's defense systems weeks before the invasion began. Nothing worked. Human armies collapsed, police forces were overrun, civilians ran for their lives, and in the middle of this chaos, small human resistance cells started forming. Groups like Alex's team. The resistance meeting inside Base Echo's war room. Alex, Lena, Ramirez, and Captain Cole stood with other resistance leaders. An old general named Briggs spoke first. "We're losing this war," Briggs said, pointing at the maps. "Every hour we lose more cities. Communications are failing. Supplies are low. We're outnumbered and outgunned," Cole interrupted, "but not out of hope. We have people like Alex here, people who've fought them face to face and survived." Everyone looked at Alex. He stood up. "They're not unbeatable," Alex said. "I've killed them with plasma rifles, explosives, even old bullets. They bleed. They can die," Lena added. "And we've started intercepting their communication signals. We're learning how they move, how they think." Ramirez smiled. "If they want a war, they've got one now." The alien counterattacks. Sirens blared inside Base Echo. Lights turned red. An officer shouted from the control room, multiple inbound targets, alien dropships approaching fast. Captain Cole cursed loudly, they found us. Everyone rushed to defensive positions. Alex grabbed his plasma rifle. Ramirez manned a heavy machine gun near the main entrance. Lena ran to secure the communication center. Within minutes, the first alien dropships arrived, large, black, and silent. They hovered over the mountain entrance. Doors opened, and waves of hunters jumped out. The defensive base battle started immediately. Gunfire echoed through the tunnels. Explosions rocked the base walls. Alex led a small squad, moving through narrow passages, setting traps and ambushes. Ramirez fired nonstop, mowing down hunters by the dozens. Lena relayed information between teams, helping them flank enemy positions, but for every hunter they killed, 2 more appeared. The aliens pushed deeper inside at one point. An alien plasma blast hit the main generator, lights went out, fighting continued in the dark, only lit by gunfire and explosions. Alex grabbed a flashlight and kept moving, guiding his team through the smoke-filled corridors. A hard decision inside the control room. General Briggs spoke to Captain Cole. "We can't hold much longer," Briggs said. Cole replied, "We still have one option left. The bunker self-destruct." Briggs nodded slowly. "If we're going down, we're taking them with us." Lena overheard this and ran to Alex. "They're going to blow the base," she shouted. Alex's heart pounded. "We need to get out." Now he grabbed Ramirez, who was barely standing but still firing his gun. "Time to move, Sarge," Alex yelled. The evacuation mid the chaos. Cole gathered as many survivors as possible. They ran through the emergency escape tunnels. Alex helped carry Ramirez. Lena carried her laptop and communication gear. Explosions shook the mountain. The countdown had started. Self-destruct in 3 minutes. As they reached the exit, Alex turned for one last look. Base Echo, once their safe haven, now just rubble and flames. The explosion lit the night, the sky like a second sun. Dozens of alien hunters were vaporized in the blast. But Alex knew, this was just one battle. The war was far from over. The aftermath hours later. The survivors set up camp in an abandoned quarry miles away, exhausted, hungry, dirty, but alive. Captain Cole called for a meeting under the stars. "We lost base, Echo," he said, his voice low but steady, "but we're still here. And now we're going to strike back." He turned to Alex. "You know these aliens better than anyone. You've been inside their labs. You've seen their weaknesses." Alex nodded. "I'll help. Whatever it takes," Lena added. "We'll need more people, more fighters, more resources." Cole smiled. "We're not the only resistance cell out there. Tomorrow we start reaching out to others. We build an army." Far above Earth, inside the main alien mothership, Commander Zelvac received the report about Base Echo's destruction. The officer said nervously, "Sir, the humans destroyed their own base just to kill our hunters." Zelvac stood silently for a long time, then he spoke. "Send in the Reapers." In dark hangars deep inside the ship, giant machines with thick armor and multiple plasma cannons began to wake up, larger, stronger, and deadlier than the hunters. The next phase had begun. The morning sun rose slowly over the desert. The small human resistance camp, hidden in the old quarry, was quiet. Survivors slept on the ground, wrapped in blankets and jackets. Broken vehicles sat in the sand. Empty ammo boxes were stacked like walls. But Alex Carter couldn't sleep. He stood on a hilltop, looking toward the distant horizon where Base Echo once stood. There was only smoke and ashes. Lena walked up behind him, holding a hot cup of coffee. "You haven't slept in 2 days," she said softly. Alex took the coffee but didn't drink. "Sleep can wait," he said. "They're planning something bigger. I can feel it." New orders inside a small command tent. Captain Cole called a meeting. Alex, Lena, Ramirez, and other resistance fighters gathered around a dusty table with maps spread out. Cole's face looked tired, but focused. "We've intercepted new alien transmissions," he began. Lena pulled out her laptop and connected it to a small projector. A strange alien symbol appeared on the screen. "Reaper deployment active." "What's a Reaper?" Ramirez asked, still holding his wounded shoulder. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. "In the lab, I heard them talk about it," he said. "Reapers are not just soldiers. They're walking weapons, heavily armored, massive firepower, designed to wipe out entire human cities in minutes." Lena added, "Our satellite spotted one moving toward the city of Almirage. Population, over 2 million. Cole stood up. "We can't let that happen. Planning the mission." Cole pointed at the map. "The Reaper is moving slow. It'll reach Almirage in 10 hours. That gives us a small window, Alex asked. What's the plan? Cole smiled. We're going to destroy it. Gasps filled the room. That thing's the size of a building, Ramirez shouted. Cole nodded. That's why we're sending a small infiltration team, led by you, Alex. Alex froze me. Yes, you've been inside alien tech. You know how they think. You'll take Lena and Ramirez with you. Plus 2 of my best demolition experts. Lena spoke next. We'll plant high-yield explosives on its weak points, then detonate remotely. Ramirez grinned, loading his rifle. Sounds suicidal. Let's do it. The journey begins by sunset. The team loaded into 2 armored trucks. Old, dusty, but reliable. They carried explosives, EMP grenades, and whatever weapons they could find. That as they drove across the desert, Lena monitored the Reapers. Location on her laptop. It's massive, moving on 8 legs. Looks like a giant metal spider, she said. Alex checked his rifle one last time. We hit it hard, we hit it fast. Then we run. Everyone nodded. The mission had begun. The mission had begun. First contact with the Reapers. Night fell. They reached a ridge overlooking Mirage. The city lights blinked in the distance, but closer. Moving slowly across the sand was the Reaper. It stood over 50 feet tall. Thick black armor plates covered its body. Multiple plasma cannons rotated on its sides. Its 8 metal legs crushed everything in its path. The ground shook with every step. Alex whispered. That thing looks like death itself. The demolition experts, Mark and Davis, started preparing the explosives. Lena found the Reaper's energy core location using hacked alien signals. We plant charges here, here, she said, pointing to diagrams. Ramirez loaded his grenade launcher. Let's give this thing a headache. The infiltration, the team split into 3 groups. Alex and Lena moved toward the front leg joints. Ramirez and Davis covered the rear engine vents. Mark climbed a nearby dune, setting up remote detonators. Moving in the dark, under the noise of the Reaper's heavy steps, they crawled through sand and rocks. Alex and Lena reached the first target point. With shaking hands, Lena attached the first explosive under a metal joint. Suddenly, a bright searchlight from the Reaper swung toward them. Down, Alex shouted. They dived behind rocks as plasma shots blasted the sand around them. Ramirez fired back with grenades, buying them time. Full assault, the Reaper realized. There were humans nearby. It changed its walking pattern and opened fire in all directions. Multiple drones were released from its body. Scanning for targets, Alex grabbed Lena's hand and pulled her toward the next target point. Davis screamed from the rear side as a drone hit him with a plasma bolt. Mark triggered the first charge, causing a small explosion on the Reaper's left leg. The Reaper staggered but didn't fall. Alex shouted into the radio, "We're running out of time. Blow it now." Lena yelled, "We still need to set the final charge." Ignoring the danger, she ran toward the main energy core hatch underneath the Reaper. Alex covered her, shooting down 2 drones. Lena placed the final explosive and slammed the activation switch. "Done," she shouted. The escape, everyone fall back," Alex yelled. The team ran, dodging plasma fire and falling debris. As they reached the top of a sand dune, Mark hit the final detonator button. A chain of explosions rocked the night sky. The Reaper's legs buckled, its cannons exploded. One by one, the energy core burst in a bright white flash. The giant machine screamed with a mechanical roar, then collapsed into the sand like a dying beast. Silence followed. Alex fell to his knees, gasping for air. Lena hugged him tightly. Ramirez sat beside them, laughing weakly. "We did it," he said. For the first time, they had taken down a Reaper. Aftermath. Back at camp, the survivors celebrated. For a few hours, they felt victory. Across other resistance cells, people heard the news. Hope began to spread. Humans could fight back and win, but deep in space. On the alien mothership, Commander Zelvac stood silent as he watched the destruction of the Reaper on his screens. An officer asked carefully, "Commander, should we deploy more Reapers?" Zelvac shook his head. "No, it's time for something else." He turned toward a hidden chamber. Inside, tall, silver-armored alien soldiers stood waiting. Silent, UNMOVING. Until now. Activate the elite guard, Zelvac ordered. Earth's retaliation ends here. The desert night was cold and silent. Alex Carter stood near the campfire with Ramirez and Lena. The smell of burned metal still filled the air. From the destroyed Reaper lying far behind them in the sand, people from the resistance cheered. Laughter echoed across the camp. For the first time, the humans had won a real fight. But Alex couldn't smile. He stared up at the sky. Stars twinkled above, but hidden among them somewhere, the alien mothership waited, watching, planning. Lena touched his shoulder. "We should rest, Alex. Tomorrow will be another hard day." Alex nodded, but deep inside, he felt something boiling. Rage. Arrival of the elite guard before dawn. Alarms went off across the resistance camp. Spotlights lit the sky. Soldiers ran for weapons. Captain Cole shouted orders from the command tent. Unknown fast-moving targets inbound. Alex grabbed his rifle and ran to the watchtower. Through binoculars, he saw them. 10 figures moving through the desert with impossible speed. Not hunters, not drones. These were new. They moved like shadows, covering miles in minutes. Tall, silver aliens with sharp blades and energy shields. Their eyes glowed with blue light. Lena's voice trembled as she checked alien databases. "Elite Guard," she whispered. "The aliens just sent their best killers." The first clash before anyone could react. The elite guard attacked. One soldier on the front line was sliced in half. Before he could scream, another was lifted off the ground and thrown 50 feet away. Bullets bounced off their armor like pebbles. Plasma blasts barely slowed them. Alex, Ramirez, and Lena joined the fight near the main gate. Ramirez fired a rocket launcher. The explosion knocked one elite guard down, but it stood up seconds later, almost unharmed. Alex aimed for the eyes and fired. One alien dropped a direct hit, the first kill, but more kept coming. Fast, smart, deadly, fighting with everything. Captain Cole ordered heavy weapons to be brought out. Machine guns, explosives, even old anti-aircraft cannons. The humans fought back with everything they had. Alex switched from plasma rifle to shotgun, blasting 2 more aliens at close range. Lena used EMP grenades to disable their shields temporarily. Ramirez led a team of snipers from a nearby hill. For hours, the camp became a battlefield. Smoke filled the air. Bodies lay everywhere, human and alien. But slowly, the resistance pushed back. The elite guard, powerful as they were, began to fall one by one, killed by human rage and teamwork. Alex's breaking point in the middle of the fight. Alex saw a young soldier, barely 18, get stabbed through the chest by an elite guard blade. Something inside Alex snapped. His vision blurred with red, screaming with fury. He charged the alien with nothing but a combat knife. The elite guard swung its blade. Alex dodged and stabbed, deep into the alien's neck. It gurgled and fell, blue blood spraying the sand. Nearby soldiers watched in shock. For a moment, everyone paused. Then, human battle cries rose into the air. More fighters charged forward with renewed energy. The humans were angry and united. Aftermath of the battle. By sunset, the fight ended. All 10 elite guards lay dead around the camp. The humans had won. Again, but at a heavy cost. Dozens of resistance fighters lay dead or wounded. Lena sat near the medical tent, patching up survivors. Ramirez limped, helping carry the injured. Alex stood on a dune, looking over the camp. His face was covered in dust, blood and sweat. Captain Cole walked up beside him. "You did good, Carter," Cole said. Alex stayed silent. Then he asked, "What's next?" Cole's eyes hardened. "We're done waiting for them to attack. Next, we hit them first." A new human plan. Retaliation inside the command tent that night. Resistance leaders gathered. Lena projected a 3D map of the alien underground facilities across the planet. "We've identified at least 3 main alien bases," she said. "They're spread out, but vulnerable." Cole pointed at the largest one, right here, near the Himalayas. "Lies their main Earth control center." Ramirez grinned despite his pain. "So we're going hunting now." Alex smiled for the first time in days. Double quotes, "Yes, we're going to bring the war to them." Cole raised his glass of water. "To human rage," he said. Everyone in the room repeated loudly, "To human rage." Meanwhile, on the alien mothership, Zolvac stood near a large viewing screen, watching the destruction of his elite guard. For the first time, his face showed emotion, anger. He turned to his officers. "The humans, they're adapting too fast." Another alien asked, "Should we launch planetary bombardment?" Zelvac shook his head. "No, not yet. Let them gather their little army. Let them plan their little attacks." He turned toward a dark chamber where a massive alien weapon stood charging. "The next phase will crush their hope. Once and for all." His cold eyes glowed. "Let's see how they handle extinction." Final hook ending for Part 7. Back at the human camp, as Alex lay down to rest for a few minutes, Lena woke him with urgent news. "Alex, there's something new on the satellite feeds." She turned the laptop toward him. On the screen, a massive alien warship, 10 times larger than anything seen before, was entering Earth's atmosphere. Alex's heart stopped for a second. "This is going to be the biggest fight of our lives," he whispered. And so, the final battle was coming. The sky over Earth turned dark, not from night, but from the massive alien warship entering the atmosphere. It stretched across the clouds like a giant shadow. City lights below flickered, communication signals broke down all over the planet. People looked up and felt fear. Alex Carter stood on a hill near the resistance camp, staring at the giant ship. His hands tightened on his plasma rifle. "We knew this day was coming," he said softly. Lena ran toward him with her laptop in hand. "This ship, it's called the Harbinger," she said, her voice shaking. "It's a planetary assault carrier. Its job is to wipe out all life below." Ramirez stood beside them, reloading his rifle. "So, what's the plan?" he asked. Captain Cole walked up, his face grim but determined. "We hit it. With everything we've got. Global resistance unites across the world. Human resistance cells prepared for the final battle. In Europe. Asian mountains, African deserts, American forests. Fighters gathered, old tanks rolled out, fighter jets took to the skies. Homemade rockets, plasma rifles, EMP bombs. For the first time, all human resistance forces connected through Lena's hacked satellite network. On one screen, soldiers in Berlin raised their weapons. On another, fighters in Japan stood ready. Everyone waited for the signal, stood in front of a microphone, speaking to the world, to all fighters, soldiers, and survivors. "This is humanity's last stand. We fight here. We fight now. For Earth." Cheers rose across the planet. Infiltration team's final mission. Alex, Lena Ramirez, and a small team of elite fighters prepared for a dangerous mission, while the big human armies attacked from the ground. Alex's team would infiltrate the Harbinger from below. Their goal, plant a massive bomb near the ship's main reactor core. The only chance to destroy the ship before it completed its planetary bombardment. Lena finished building the bomb, using alien tech mixed with human explosives. Ramirez smiled, holding extra grenades. "If we die, at least we'll die loud." Alex loaded his rifle. "We're not dying today," he said. Approaching the Harbinger, the team used stolen alien transport crafts to fly low under radar. As they got closer, they saw the Harbinger's defense turrets. Activating anti-air guns opened fire. Explosions lit the sky. 2 human jets flew overhead, distracting the alien defenses. Alex's team flew straight toward an open maintenance hatch on the underside of the ship. "Hold on tight," Cole shouted over the radio. With a sharp turn, their craft slipped inside the hatch. They landed hard in a dark corridor inside the alien ship. The final mission had begun. Fighting inside the alien ship. As soon as they entered, alien soldiers rushed toward them. Not hunters, not elite guard, but the ship's internal security units. Fast, armored, dangerous. Alex led the way, shooting non-stop. Ramirez followed, laying down covering fire. Lena stayed near the bomb, carrying it carefully while others protected her. Corridors filled with smoke and plasma fire. Twice, Ramirez got hit, once in the leg, once in the side, but he kept moving. "No stopping now," he yelled. They pushed forward deeper inside the heart of the ship, reaching the reactor core after nearly an hour of fighting and running. The team reached the reactor chamber. It was massive. Giant blue energy beams pulsed from the core, feeding power to the entire ship. Lena placed the bomb at the base of the main conduit. "We have 5 minutes after I start the timer," she warned. Alex nodded. "Do it." Lena pressed the button. The bomb started ticking. Immediately, alarms screamed. Across the ship, thousands of alien drones woke up from storage bays. The walls shook as the Harbinger prepared for emergency takeoff, planning to escape before detonation. "The last escape time to run," Ramirez shouted. The team sprinted back through the burning corridors. Aliens chased from every side. Alex stopped at one corner, turning to cover the team. He fired until his rifle overheated. Then he grabbed a pistol and kept firing. Lena helped carry Ramirez when he stumbled. Explosions rocked the ship from within. Bulkheads slammed shut behind them. They barely reached the maintenance hatch where their small craft was waiting. With only seconds left, they blasted out of the Harbinger at full speed. The craft dived toward the ground below. The explosion from the desert floor. Thousands of human fighters watched the sky. The Harbinger, still rising, filled half the sky. Then a massive explosion tore through its middle. Blue and white energy ripped the ship apart from inside. Fireballs shot in every direction. Pieces of burning metal fell like rain. The shockwave flattened everything within miles. But the human fighters cheered. They screamed, "Enjoy!" Laughed. Cried. For the first time, they had destroyed a mothership. Earth was not going down quietly. The final stand on the ground, but the battle wasn't over. surviving alien forces on the ground, hunters, elite guards, and drones, still attacked human cities. But now, humans fought with new energy. Resistance fighters charged forward. Tank columns rolled through city streets. Jet fighters took out remaining alien dropships for hours. Gunfire echoed across the world. From New York to Tokyo, from Cairo to Moscow, humans stood their ground. And finally, by the next morning, the last alien ground troops were wiped out. The sky cleared. Smoke lifted. Earth stood free again. 1 week later, inside the rebuilt resistance base, now named Freedom Point, Alex, Lena Ramirez, and Captain Cole stood together. World leaders sent messages of thanks and support. Survivors across the planet celebrated. Memorials were held for the billions who had died, but hope returned. Alex stood at the main gate, watching new recruits arrive. Farmers, teachers, scientists, soldiers, all ready to help rebuild. Lena walked up beside him. "We won," she said softly. Alex nodded. "But if they ever come back, we'll be ready." Ramirez laughed nearby, holding his new medal. "And next time, we'll hit them first." Everyone smiled. Humanity had survived, not because of advanced weapons, not because of luck, but because humans never give up. Final closing hook for YouTube. Otro Farauchi in space. Beyond the solar system, inside another alien council chamber, high-ranking alien commanders watched Earth's battle footage. One alien leader turned to the others and said, "They call themselves human. We called them weak. We were wrong. Next time, we won't underestimate them." The screen went dark. The war was over for now.